I used to roll with a heavy team that dwelled deep in the inner Sydney HiVE. Molded by amphetamines, we were socially pushed to the fringes of society, where you could say it's lonely and forever freezing. These were our mid-teens, no job, no chance of churning out part as a cog. No, spinning in the economic machine where you don't doze off. No. We more of a crease in the face of the new generation. No Botox. So what I mean by that is that the law couldn't keep up or predict the lead up to all these ethnic groups overboiling in a melting pot. Would I be down so it only turned the heat up? Maybe they couldn't in the 90s. A lot of people sweating bullets in the 90s. Maybe the snooker parlor leases needed to run out just to end all them sleazy hangouts for us hoodlums in the 90s. But the law came swinging in with an iron fist, on a mission to iron out this crease. But under these unjust conditions, you also find people with smarts who wind up in the streets. They stem from Asian parents, without the typical Asian values. No interest in studying accounting or maths. Their English not delayed in an Asian vacuum. Territorial, recruiting those who drifted from the mainstream, but employable. I don't think joining is easy. First, you better earn respect. Show you are adept on the streets to stand firm and collect. You're either smooth talking sales rep, or earn a violent streak without breaching bail yet. Either way, you must command respect. This was a handout to those whose hands been dealt. The pack mentality. They stamped the name in the Sydney Telegraph that's wrapped in fantasy. But more importantly, they stomped their name on the heads of the underground scene. A harsh reality. Chapter 1. Sole in the HiVE. I take you to the mid-1990s. The party was bumping Snoop Dogg and some R&B shit that sounded whiny. At this time we were at the Tempe Boat Club that's normally empty even on Friday. Everyone was invited for a friend of a friend. So it happens that the birthday boy gets jumped by us randoms for disturbing their peace. But that's not the ends of an end. Some cops quickly dispatch on the scene, filtering guests caught in the party. Every friend of a friend scatters, all leaving their Winfield Reds or their Bacardi. There was another crew there that night, these fobs from Riverwood. We were all out of our hoods that night, all with reps of being pitiful. We form an alliance, link it together through hand slaps. We respected each other for throwing hands when it's time's called for the hand claps. So rushed out by some friends, just sculled an alcohol into state of mind. Spilling out on the street was a mob, fuel to the tip of dangerous and violent. That's because it feels good being guarded by so much security. It's like pure cocaine, a feeling on par with supernatural ability. For instance, this one fella from the other crew feels untouchable. He demonstrates by climbing on top of the police car, jumping and yelling, "How you like that, constable?" But that's the type of scene you expect to see in a riot. The suspension of the car squeaks and squeals like a pig in a vice. Every bounce he's cranking up, it's cranked enough, cranking up the cruise. Never charging the Sydenham train station. Before the cops kick off a backup, we move, shedding off into smaller groups to throw the scent off the pursuit. Coppers fall out of the loop, but we still follow in suit. The city train pulls in and we swarm. Just imagine us, like the Confederates, swarming the Carlisle barracks. All you hear is our noise and profanities resonate the carriage. You see, it's Friday night, so it's feeling jam-packed. Three of my friends chill on the lower level, while I speak to another who's amped to the max. Remember that guy that was dancing on top of the police car? Yeah? He claims a seat reserved for all the elderly. Swimming in an oversized Bulls jacket, wedged in tea and sneakers, smirking, his eyes beaming jealousy. He's scanning the passengers. It's the habit that he learned while doing rolls, smoking cannabis. He's keeping out those that he can control without any challenges. The The big homie standing guard, man, heavy calibers. You see the trains at the stomper yard, and they were your Adidas. Directly opposite sits a man aged in his 30s to 50s. He looks white Australian, but he doesn't look like he grew up in the privilege. Decked in Kmart or Target where he's not even aware of his casting stare until they make eye contact and break it. Eyes come back and back and back. His jacket yells, "You right, brah?" Target says something under his breath. It's hard to decipher. Bull Jacket stands up. Onlookers pause to pan over. Casually walks up to the target to do a standover. Ironically standing over. The fuck you say? Target tilts his head some type of way. Doesn't look scared. Almost like he doesn't even care. And his monotone voice replies the only way he can is he has got no choice, this guy. Cause there's something about him. Cause there's something about the target's fragility. Yeah, there's something about him. Something like some type of intellectual disability. Yeah, there's something around it. But that won't change what the witness see. And the question of accountability. Without warning, Bull's Jacket launches a right uppercut to the face. Mind you, the target is seated. And mind you, there are plenty of people who are seeing it. You know when you feel the cold embrace of a surprise punch to the face, your shoulders shrug up like you just sneezed the lung out. Now he's trapped on this train where he can't even do a runner. Onlookers watching horror. You can hear inhaling gasps of air, echoing like glass pipes in the squalor. Onlookers just adjust their stare. Bull's Jacket cobras his back, chest out, arms bowing outwards, fist on display. You know his bra's got his back, best pals, big units, keeping witnesses at bay. Bull's Jacket stretches out his left arm to claw the back of the target's quivering head. He reels him in closer, like that innocent turtle caught up in a drift net. Bull's Jacket fires right hook to the left cheek. The cracker sound perks ears like a starter pistol. Target is a victim that starts a block. A passengers leap up off they start and blocks. On either side of the target sits two runners, suited up in nightclubbing gear. They no longer want to brush shoulders behind the starting lines. They quickly leap up off and they out of here. Bull's Jacket yells, "You want to get smucker, huh?" Before the target can answer, he's barreled with punches that descend upon him like a hailstorm. The target automatically curls up to shelter his head, and through the roof of his forearms shielding his face says in his monotone voice, "I was not getting smart." Bull's Jacket lets up, his bras gripping his jacket like reins on a runaway horse. They heave him back to his trot. Bull's Jacket gazes proudly over at the carriage of disgusted and disgruntled faces, and he shouts, "Who else wanna fuck with me?" This cues my crew to ignite off their seats. In another heartfelt display of camaraderie, they march up to Bull's Jacket, look him up and down, and then dead in the eye. They then move over to the target and say, "You wanna get smart, cunt, huh?" The target stands up, rubbing his left cheek. In a last bid for dignity, says in his monotone voice, "I was not getting smart." Target is charged with a clothesline that lifts him both feet in the air and sends him crashing with his back into his seat. The soles of Nike TNs begin a hard-style march all over his head. Two of my crew work like a 4-stroke motor, one at a time they later stomping in a 2-step rhythm. This continues through the chorus of, "You wanna get smart, cunt, huh?" And a background murmur from passengers huddled in the other end of the carriage discussing the scene. Under the stampede, you can hear a muffled voice repeatedly saying, "I was not getting smart." By this stage, the train is just pulling into Redfern, and one of my friends grips the handrails to drop into the target's head with 2 feet like a parachuter bracing a hard landing. He repeats this landing at least 7 times. The door mechanism hisses wide open, and the beeps signal full time for the premiership. All involved legged out the train feeling victorious. Planting tremoring legs firmly, he expends his last life force to rise to his feet. He staggers to the open doors and yells out, "I was not getting smart," before face planting on the platform. You can hear a gurgling sound as he breathes with what's left of his mouth against the platform, because his mouth lies in a pool of blood so thick that he almost drowns in it. The HiVE.